This conference will now be recorded.
Can somebody chat me? Is it audible? I can go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead, Philip.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. We have people from attendees from around the globe. This is our 14th webinar series, and today's our topic is effective communication in project controls. A quick introduction. My name is Philip Staragan. I'm the Vice President for Middle East for Wrench Solutions. Enjoying the present job because after implementing the Wrench Smart project, customers are very happy and they keep the closeness. My major interests are reading, coaching, and volunteering. And this is a platform where I got a lot of opportunity in ACI International and different sections of the ACI. Before we go to the topics, let us recap what was our communication to all of you. That is our learning objectives were able to review basics about communication and communication plan, able to review the roles of project control, able to understand the process information sharing communication based on TCM framework, and exposed to best approaches in project control, information planning, and communication, exposed to effective utilization of integrated project management information system for effective communication. Finally, initiate a thinking process to explore available opportunities to improve process and technologies related to project control communication. And we know that our expected target audience are final year students, young graduates, postgraduate students, young professionals, and anyone who feel themselves young. Young means learning, feel that, yes, I need to learn. Before we go into the subject, let us look into the definition or the meaning, what the communication given by different dictionaries. One I took is a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of simple signs or behavior. This we have come across maybe many times. Another usual definition is that it is the activity or process of expressing ideas, feelings, or giving people information or instructions. Look into effective communication because today's topic is effective communication in project control. In a simple words, the process of information sharing in a way that matches what you plan to say. I mean, to say means write, communicate, that is the sense. What you plan to say, what you actually say, and what your audience interprets. This is in simple words, effective communication. Now, just resemble with our EVM notations. Please don't ask me any reference. There is no reference for this. Just to resemble with EVM, we have defined what is PS, that is plan to say, AS, actually what we say, and ES, earn say. I just put it in the phrase, it's earn say. We know that in project control, when you have one, whether it is your and value EV by AC actual cost or EV by PV, when it is one, it is a perfect as designed as planned. So effective communication, we can use it. I'm once again saying that don't ask me any reference. I just thought I put it there. So it is nothing but the plan say, actual say, and what your audience interprets or what you earn say. So these are all the EVM resemblance. So this is effective communication in simple words. Just on the chat box. It's not moving. Yes. Now, I have spent a little time on our common search, that is Google. Found a lot of information, blogs, YouTube about critical elements of effective communication or a communication. I could see from 2 pillars or 2 critical points to up to 18 critical points in communication to be effective. But looking into the universities, Harvard, then look into the business organization like Forbes, and brought some of the key points which everyone is mentioned, every survey is mentioned, which is critical. Let us look into the first one, that what makes someone good communicator, which is mentioned 1,000 years before, or thousands of, exactly, I'm not able to say, but it is Aristotle has mentioned. It is thousands of years before, 3 critical elements. One is ethos, pathos, and logos. Look into that. What is ethos? Is essentially your credibility. If the person should believe what you are saying, so that is the credibility. Okay. So today we are making this communication before the communication or today's webinar. Definitely, you might have gone to the website, see who is delivering this training, who is communicating. So look into the credibility. That is natural. The next is pathos, is making an emotional connection. Can the person is making an emotional connection? Is essentially the reason people believe what you are saying is matter to them. Is the communication is important in project controls? So there is a connection that yes, the audience are project control team members, and there is a connection between communication and project control. Then it's a logos. Even we have the ethos and pathos or whatever the credibility you have made the connections, everything. It may not help us if people don't understand what is the logically the reason why it is connecting. So these are the 3 points which is in thousands of years before Aristotle has put it. Look into some of the new blogs and articles. Look into that. Few points I got it clearly to put it here. One, how well you know yourself. So before we prepare a communication, we need to know ourselves. Who are we? So that is one important aspect. Second is, how will you know others? That means for us, the communication, the audience, the people who receive our communications, the other end. So the receiver. So the receiver, what we need to know them very well. In Forbes has given few of the points, I think 5 C's. Out of the 5 C's, I taken 3 C's. One is be clear. Before communicating our issue, identify it and know what we want to communicate. So this is very clearly, we need to be very clear what we need to communicate. Second is be concise. Our communication should be direct, simple, and to the point. We should not come up with stories and the stories will carry away and the real message and our objective will be sidelined. So these are some of the introduction points. Now I wanted to also inform this topic is, you might have seen the topic, I again put it today. It is not the soft skill training of a communication. It is not the communication planning in PMP modules. It is purely taken from how linking to the project controls communication based on the TCM. So do not expect something like a soft skill training today here or the PMP module of the communication. Somebody may be very fresh, just finished the PMP and don't connect with that. It is purely for the project control aspects. This picture, this figure you might have seen from school, college, and in every communication training, office trainings, every certification. I'm not going to the details of this slide. Here we have seen this very frequently in every communication class. We know that it's sender, receiver, feedback, medium, all this. I would like to highlight one point, the feedback message. For us, we know everything. What is a feedback message? How do we make sure that the communication, our end communication, or what we say there, or what we wanted to say, yes, and it is exactly what we plan to say. This is what to make sure the feedback loop. Now take little time, 30 seconds. Think yourself, how do you validate the feedback? The feedback of the communication, it can be in a project control. You imagine any type of communication we do, correct? We do send reports, letters, emails, contractual letters, formal, informal, verbal. We present from a project team to the very senior board level. So every type of communication and with different medium we use it, and take 30 seconds to identify what is the feedback and how to validate the feedback, what is our feedback loop, how we collect it back. This is important. Take 30 seconds. I'm sure you might have got an idea how do you collect it. So I don't want to go to the points in detail now. So you have an idea how do we collect feedback. That is the whole purpose today, is in addition to giving some hints and some of the processes, the feedback. How can we effectively collect the feedback to close the communication loop? Now the second portion of our today's title is effective communication in project control. Now we need to define what is project control. I'm sure in the first class or different times we might have defined it, but however we need to refresh it. As per ASC International, it's a management process for controlling the investment of resources in an asset where investment are made through the execution of a project. So we have the complete enterprises assets we are managing, and project is only a source to prepare that asset. Now, project control includes the general steps of 1, project planning, including establishing project cost and schedule control baselines, measuring project performance, comparing measurement against the project plans, and taking corrective, mitigating, or improvement actions as may be determined through the forecasting and further planning activities. Look into European Construction Institute. The definition is almost similar. Again, analysis of performance, identification, participation of inefficiencies, preventive and remedial action. So it is almost matching. I want to take you to the next one. Looked into a few of the project control managers' job descriptions taken from a job portal. I've seen in many recent advertisements. One is from an infrastructure EPC company, one is a piping owner company. Now look into that description. It's most of the definitions came earlier, it is here. And look into that commonality in it. WBS, progress, cost control, communication. You can see everywhere the reports. Report is another way of communication. It is not purely the communication reporting is not it's all one way, but still we have and the requirement soft skills. All the job positions, even though they call for good communication skills, here it is stressed more. Look into the piping, almost similar. It is almost similar even for the piping. It's almost similar. Okay, here again, we have, I've seen somewhere here, WBS, planning, such things. And good written communication, verbal communication, inferencing, all such things. So this is taken from some portal, job portal. Now, look into, we summarize everything. Common activities under project controls are aligning projects with portfolio or organization goals, developing work breakdown structures, collaborating on initial project schedules, developing a risk management plan, project budgeting and forecasting, monitoring and project cost, feedback and reporting, optimizing for the better outcomes in the future. Now, I wanted to why it is we need to know as ourselves, correct, first, before we know the other party. So this is the reason I am bringing who are we to explain the project control. So here in the total cost management by the constitution of ASCI, it is given. It's a systematic approach in managing cost through life cycle of any enterprises, program, facility, project, or service. This is accomplished through the application of cost engineering and cost management principles. Look into the next one, proven methodologies and latest technology in support of the management process. So it is not just limiting on the process or the proven methodologies, it is also adopting to the latest technologies to achieve this. To go into the next one, we are all familiar in the total cost management. We deal the entire enterprise's asset. Here we are familiar with project management and resources management. And we need to little bit discuss about management accounting, because this is another communication area where we are communicating frequently. Now the management accounting, we are all know that it is nothing but the accounting which is used for internal purposes, not for external purposes or public, or not because of the regulatory requirements most of the time. Now it is to inform the business, to make them well informed so they can take right decisions, the management. That is the purpose of a management accounting. It gives the data for internal users. It can be an information, it is a raw data, they will take it the way they want it, or it is an information, we will share the knowledge for them to take the right decision. It includes financial and non-financial information. We give sometimes the subjective information. It is also give the future events, what is going to happen. That is our forecast, our trends, everything. And look into that. What informations we are sharing, it is going to the management accounting, then that information is used for financial accounting. Financial accounting, when it comes to it is for external. Naturally, it have regulations, it is illegal, it is mandatory, it depends, it's shared with the investors, stock market, tax, everything. So it is important. So any misinformation, miscommunication from our side have a serious consequences in the next stage. Now look into the project control process in ASCI DCM. You may think that why the communication and these are all bringing in, because we need to know that what we are doing thoroughly and what we need to communicate. This is the reason I'm bringing all this inside instead of giving a soft skill training here. Now the project scope and execution strategy we are getting, then using the WBS, and based on the WBS, we establish the WBS, then everything is starting. What we are doing is a planning, scheduling, cost estimation, budgeting, resource planning, and the procurement planning. All this based on the WBS established. So WBS is the basic element for us. It is a cornerstone. Then it comes to the project control things. Then we are sharing the communications information. Look back. So what we are doing as a project control team, what we are doing now? What we are doing, we are translators and we are communicators. Look into the process before. We got a scope, a requirement from the customer need. Then we are converting into the requirements clearly. Then we are putting into the WBS. Then based on the WBS, we are taking the cost plans. Then the cost plans to measures and how do we measure it back. Then if any changes, deviations, we are giving the right knowledge for the team, what action to be taken. In the last class, we have talked, I think almost every class we are talking about PDCA, plan, do, check, act. So finally, we are giving the feedback to act. Now, in the previous basic communication, we had the filters we are seeing, the noise or filters. Okay. Then here in every time we translate a customer requirement into technical scope or a cost plans to measures, there is a probability of an uncertainty and statistics. That is our noise issue here. So it can get distracted. That we need to be clearly know that. Second thing, the moment we make such translations and we communicate to others, they will ask whether the asset or project team can ask questions. What does this mean? We send a schedule, they can ask us a question, what does this mean? We send a trend or a project control, any report, it will ask, what does this mean? What should be done and what will be likely the result be? These are the questions they can ask. And we need to, because of our curiosity and or mandatory requirement, we need to ask the questions, what are the needs? Why do we need to do this? What progress have we made? What corrective actions do we suggest? So these are the questions it comes to us. And each communication when we make, we also get raise a lot of questions. What is the best approach? Even a senior most staff in the project control department or somebody who recently joined, they all get the similar questions most of the time. The questions are, what do we use a text or tables or a chart? After we do the tab table, then suddenly, no, why can't you convert this into a chart? Who is saying this? This may be a senior manager saying it. Okay, why can't we move this into a chart? Why can't we, maybe the who is going to read it, he may not understand it. Okay, let us change into a text. Or do we issue hard copy or online reports? Even now, I've seen officers when we go for implementation of the document control department, we can see hard copies like anything. So still companies look at online and hard copies. Every report's required in a different format. Do we call or email and inform, or we use any other systems to inform? Do we display ranges or point values? A lot of questions come, whether it is give P85, P65 probability range, or we will give a single point value. Or sometimes we ask, why can't we go for a communication module? By a communication module, it can be useful, or link it with our IPMS, Integrated Project Management Information Systems. So these are all the questions comes, and we have a lot of noises in the form of uncertainty and statistics. Each of these steps, we have uncertainty and probability of errors. Now look into we talked that from where we come. We came from project control, what is the process, and we also looked into that, what is our role, and our role clearly coming from the WBS is our cornerstone. If WBS goes wrong, all our correspondences and in every process what we are doing goes wrong. So this is the importance. We talked many times about WBS. This is an interesting, I have recently purchased a book, Multi-Dimensional WBS. It is very interesting. From everything it is WBS, how we can use it for 2D, 3D, 7D, BIM, all integrations. I got this reference from there, it is good. And this is the WBS, we are all discussed level 1, level 2, then we go further details. We have that, it is a cornerstone of every project. It reflects the requirements, what to be accomplished, what is the basis, identifying the resources, everything starts from there. It's a good communication tool between engineering team, program management team, functional organizations, and everybody will be very clear with the picture what we are going to deliver and how it will work. And look into that. Most of the time, we end up with the poor or incomplete scope definitions. That leads us to the scope variations, claims, and legal disputes many times. So clearly understanding the relationship between WBS, CPM schedule, cost, estimation, all these are all important for us to communicate clearly in project controls. So the cornerstone is clear now. Now let's go to the, so we start from the WBS, we have a schedule, we have cost WBS, we have a construction plus commissioning and other schedules. We have payment, procurement schedules, we have everything. Then we can come into, if we have an integrated process management system, then we can come into, okay. Then we are monitoring, we are getting the integrated WBS with other systems. Then we have reporting. Okay, then we have a reporting, we can give a down report, we can email the report. These are all the communications. We can give required format of the knowledge for them, so the senior managers can take decisions, whatever the format they want. If we have using a automated system, if we have, if it is effective based on your ROI, it can take the schedule from the Primavera or MS project. It can go into the details and put it in the WBS there. Then we can have detailed workflows, and based on the workflow it will move. We can have a to-do list, so each stage it will make sure it will be checking. Then we can automatically update the details, what is the progress, where do the communications to be completed, everything. Okay, then it is now in any communication, we can also use these things. One second. We can have an automated communication modules. It will help you to take the metadata and process it, and we can capture the feedbacks. We talked about the feedback is important. So when we send such a tool, we use it, any tool, we can use the reply required. What is the priority and when we want the reply back or the communication loop to close it. We can kept all this information, your metadata are captured, stored. We can have different format. If it is for RFI, if it is for any other type of communication, we can use it. We can use it, the communication. Minutes of meeting is a good communication tool, correct? We have meetings, many times we have meetings. Then we have meetings, the minutes of meeting, what happens most of the time? After the minutes of meeting, somebody has to write a detail, then follow up. When it is in an integrated project management tool, we can, against the deliverable, we can link it, or we can take it, then it automatically based on the flow we define, it can move. So the actions we will be knowing, we can capture it, and then we can close it. And it can link to the respective WBS also, if required, or each deliverable we can. Now, reports in the automated system, it is very simple. So you look into the correspondence register, we know that when we have received it, what is the date we got the reply, where to send it, when to send it, whether we forwarded to somebody else. With all such informations we can capture. Now, this is, I just say that even in automated tools, even there is if the communications were updated, if the drawing we are using or communications were updated, if you have a simple, I'm just saying that the tools can help. Even a simple tool like a QR code can tell you exactly whether this drawing is latest or not. If the drawing is not latest, when you use any mobile phone applications of the application, when you ArcQ download, then this is not the drawing, latest drawing. It will give you a message. This is not the right drawing. This is not the latest drawing. Shall I download the latest drawing? So now what is the advantage? The drawing are updated. It is not communicated on time. People are go ahead with the fabrication. So this can be done. Here, we can also use such systems for visual reporting. In a visual reporting, We can have in many linear projects and automatic measurement of the using drones. The complete project is measured on, and like a solar project and other is measured. I think look into the we can have a lot of beam models now. The progress update, the cost, everything can be defined in a visually appealing way. So all these different type of communications progress can be, or anything we can be utilized. Now we talked about what is communication, what is effective communication, what is project control, what is our role, and what is the cornerstone for us. And if the WBS is not defined correctly, all the rest of the things are going to be messed up. Then we reach to a level how we can get it feedbacks. We can even get automatic feedback from different type of communication, what we use it, whether it is a minutes of meeting, whether it is a letter draft, whether it is a reports. We can define all of these things. Now, before we go into the TCM is defined not only the communication, it is also not limited to data. It is also going to be how data is managed and how the database is managed. So let us go into next level. We have 20 minutes more. Okay, this DIKW pyramid you might have seen in different presentations with others also. It is starting the lowest level. Just the data is nothing but the facts, the images, the signals, measurements, characters. These are all unprocessed information. That is we call data. When it is in a context, when it is organized, calculated, and it is content structured, processed, or presented in a way that makes it useful, it becomes information. That means we measure the progress, and it is only measurement, it is a data. But when we compare it that with the baseline, and we have arranged it for the definitive information, then it becomes information. Now it goes to the next level, the knowledge. We give a meaning to it. We say that is we are adding the trend to it, we are adding the variances to it. Then compared to the previous period, what is the variance, what is now, how we are improving, then it becomes a knowledge. It is a synthesized, it is compared, it is discussed, it's idea, thought out, learning from information, past, present, and possible future. ACI in TCM, we talk about data, information, knowledge, but in the IKW pyramid, we have wisdom also. So the next level is decision making. What the reflections that people say it is a mental function, it's a judgment, they add value. So it is a wisdom, the next level, the insight of the knowledge, then again, we can use it. So for us, we are talking about data, information, and knowledge, and leaving the next decision making process to the right people to take it. Now, in our field, we have data, knowledge, and information, which we talked about the differences, is exchanged. Exchange, look into that, where the informations we are exchanging, where our knowledges are in. It is interfaces with other systems, many systems. We talk about, say, project cost accounting, managerial accounting. We interact with our data moves, our knowledge moves with the time and accounting and payroll field, scheduling systems, into document management systems, BIM, the building information modeling system, enterprise resources planning, ERP, risk management tools, quality defect snack tracking tools, complaint or escalation or emails, such tools, the procurement systems. Then this is in many organizations, these are all like silos. The information sit in one place, it is not communicated with others. Look into the project managers. What is their biggest communication problem? Whenever they need the right information, they are not getting it. They're not available to the right information on time. And what they are getting, tons of information overload, information overload. That is another problem. Look into it, because it is not structured, organized, and kept it for easy retrieving. And in the organization have multiple departments, multiple organization, business units, or these are all data, they keep it themselves, and it is not. One solution is a common data environment, a CDE. It's a collaborative environment where all stakeholders in a project share their data. Now, I want to say that we worked in India very large projects where it is almost every construction system and the data, it is on a common platform. It's a very large. I think it's almost like 1 lakh crores, that level of project or more. Recently, we were working in a large company in Middle East, in UAE, that they wanted to integrate. They want a common data environment where it is their document control system by another provider, multiple document control system organization. They have a QS platform, and that is also existing. They don't want to change it. They have a finance ERP system. They have separate that is from Oracle. They have a separate system for project, small project accounting. They are using a different method. Then they have BIM, and they're planning to go for they wanted to have BIM with 5D, 6D, all these ideas. Contract management system, they have a separate tool, and data is lying there. Legal platforms, and Primavera, and all this scheduling, all this, whatever we discuss now here, they have everything, and accounting, time accounting, or payroll. So there is an opportunity for communicating using a common data environment. Now, look into that role of information in forensic performance assessment, because this is critical. If we really use the discipline process like TCM, it will avoid failures, claims, and the need for forensic studies. Okay, but this is not the case most of the time. We also know that sharing accurate planning and performance measurement information about a project during its performance helps avoid disputes and facilitate their resolution, if any. If anything comes, we can resolve also. But when we need it, these information will also help us. So what is a goal of the forensic analysis? To replace supposition or a project mixed with a persuasive factual evidence. That is the whole purpose. Now, if in any legal situation, the best preparation for or defense against a claim is using the best practices and maintaining thorough, accurate, and complete records of all communications, plans, actual cost, and schedule performance data, and so on. I work in a project where it is $150 million something value, and the legal fees become around $22 million in my knowledge. We can imagine. The reason is it was not properly, the documents were not available when there was a conflict and a legal dispute. It could not solve it up. And most of the time, been to few of the occasions in working in Middle East, we have most of the people presented there. Many people are working in Middle East. They know that the translation. The document has to be translated. We communicate in English. All the documents, emails, everything is in English. Then it translated to the Arabic. Then retranslate back into English. Then present it to the translation course. Again, the filters and nuisance during the translation. I still remember one simple translation error. It is corrected almost a 1 million dirhams difference. That is almost, you can imagine 1 million dirham, how many crores. This is an important thing, for we have the information flow and storing it for our forensic performance assessment also. Now, before I leave it, we also need to, because the communication planning is not limited to project control team. Communication planning is done by overall project management plan along with it. So that's why in the PMP and all, there is a separate module for communication and communication planning. Now, in TCM, we don't have it in detail. The reason, it's simple. It's a project. It's not limited to project control team. It is a project management plan. It is coming under that. We all know that inadequate planning may lead to problems. such as delays in message delivery, communication of information to the wrong audience. Wrong audience is very critical. Insufficient communication activities, misunderstanding or misrepresentation, misinterpretation of the messages communicated. When we plan the communication during the communication planning, we need to have the people with the following knowledge and skills to prepare an effective communication plan. The reason this is taken from the Planning Planet. It is look into that. It looks very simple and silly, but it's very important for us here. Understanding of the politics and power structures of the organization. We need people who are there while we plan the communication. And the wider stakeholder community, including customers and sponsors. Need to have knowledge about environment and culture of the organization and the key stakeholders. Knowledge of the industry and type of project deliverable. Knowledge of communications technologies, and it changes every time. Knowledge of corporate policies, procedures regarding security, legal, and other requirements affecting communications. So these are all looks very simple. We all know that, but I put it here to just refresh. Communication planning can be in any level. In the system, what we used to have in our communication planning modules, which is coming, what, why, who, where, when. So you might have seen the previous report of the correspondence module. It's similar almost. So what to be communicated, what is the objective of the communication, and what method we use it, and what platform we use it, where it is, and what frequency and timing. Because some reports, they need a Thursday just before leaving. Okay, Thursday is a weekend here. Or in India, maybe Friday. So in who you are communicating, who is the owner, the responsible, to whom we have to communicate, and the feedback mechanism. Once again, I am highlighting the feedback mechanism and how they have to report the feedback and when to get the feedback. And if any escalations, what is the escalations? In many of the systems, if you wanted to communicate to be automated, to get it maximum electronically to do it, even RSHR or responsibility metrics, all such metrics we can be automated, put in the system using a workflow, and it can send the emails to the respective people, and we can put the attributes required, escalations required, distribution list, what is the deadline they have to do it. We can use such workflows. Important thing, this equation, anybody done a communication training attended before, they might have seen this. The n into n minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to nc. So number of communication channel is nothing but the number of people inside into number of people minus 1 divided by 2. This is critical for us to understand. Say that 4 people in a small team, in a project, just for the quick purpose. Now, there's, I think somebody already replied, this is a PMP formula. Okay, this not only in PMP, this is in every communication manual. And now look into this 4 people, 4 different attitudes, 4 different moods, approaches, knowledge, they are there. Using this formula, we can have how many channels of communication? Using this formula, we can have 8 channels, correct? It is 4 minus 3 divided by 2, 12 by 8, or it can be, 6. It can be 6, 4 into 4 minus 1 divided by 2. Just imagine if we change into 4 into 5 people, the communication channel becomes 10. Now we move the communication into 8 people, just double added another 4 people into the communication, our communication, it becomes 28 channels. So what happens, why the communication plan is important, why the system we limit the people, you copy or BCC somebody in a communication, in an email, say, or invited somebody extra to the meeting. So it can be a meeting communication. It can be, okay, we are not talking about mass communication. It's not, we are not going to do it usually. We are not talking about a public addressing system. We are talking about a meeting, an email. People add, okay, copy me also. Copy me for what? Ask these questions. What you are going to get out of, why? So we add people, we spend up time clarifying everyone, unwanted feedback loops coming in. So the channels we are increasing, so let us limit to the channel to the right side. So this is very important. Next is we need to look into what type of communications we do it. It's a communication, the dimensions of communication. We can divide in different way. Look into that. You can even elaborate or extend this based on channels. We can have written and oral. Inside the written, we can have a formal written, informal written, or based on the formality, we have formal and informal. Now we have informal written, formal written. We can have based on the directions we have upwards, downwards, outwards, sidewards, whatever it is. Means it to the senior managers, to the teams, and to the colleagues, to the project teams, or to external parties, or based on the parties, whether it's internal or external. There again, internal different teams, external. So we can divide it in a. This is very important because if we wanted to make the communication modules or systems in a PMIS, then we need to know what type of communication we are doing, because authority and sharing and all depends on. Now, an important point more than that I wanted to add here is the quality in communication. So you link it to the previous slide and this now. We know that in the quality is defined in TCMS or in most of in the projects fit for purpose. So we are not in the PMP, people know very well gold plating. It is, we do not require to gold plate or give anything more than what is in the scope. So now fit for purpose is another quality definition, or for us it is a scope. Now, is it this communication we know to add more people into it, or what? Is it the right type of people we are including? Is our audience is critical for us. Now in ACI, in ACI, the knowledge management is divided into two areas. One is a data management, the another is information control, database management. What is the data management is nothing but the way the data are informed and available to the enterprise, correct? It is how do we the data are formed it, the information and available. Now the database management is the best ways to store, access, and maintain the databases that support information systems and security. Security is very critical. It is we need to have different levels of security, external threat, and also data losses internally. This is important. Now all the TCM strategic asset management, we look into that. The project control process include database management as a sub-process and sub-processes included in the project control. We may not be managing all the databases, but some databases we may manage directly. Maybe in the scheduling we are managing directly. Maybe in the PMIS we are doing it. At least we need to know that what is our data, where it is kept, what is the security for each of this data, because data can become information and knowledge. All of you might maybe knowing much better than me, the youngsters. What is this slide? It is data. We have our raw data in figures, facts, observation, values, statistics, everything. It goes to a storage database. Then it have a processing. It have also a data processing. Then the information we are getting it, and we got a process the data that is nothing but called information. Now in most of the time now we are moved into cloud. So we have cloud, which is completely the information is in the cloud, and sometimes the information is partially in the cloud, and most of the time the major information is lying, the data is lying with the system of the end user or the customer. So this is we are today. Now coming to one point which is critical for us. I wanted to, I think I missed it here. Yeah. Sorry for this distractions. Okay. Now the communication metrics we talked about it can be planned, put it, and then we need to link it to the number of communication. We have to limit the people. Yeah, this is the point I remember. We need to limit these people to whom we are communicating and distribution list. It is not necessary to add people and add the communication, more communication channel to it, and it is not going to be effective. Now, let us, I've looked into spend a lot of time for searching, really putting some good, tips. It is, maybe we know this or we all know about it. I didn't get from the books much tip, but I looked into many of it, and finally from the Big Business Success, bigsuccess.com. This looks very interesting for us. Specifically, I was looking for project control background. What can be the tip today we can share? So this is good when we are making the next report to stand out. Maybe this is good. Determine its purpose. We already talked why we are writing it. Okay, what should I accomplish when we are putting a report next time? Write to your readers. That is nothing but who is your audience. Understand. Write to your readers. That is who is going to read our report. So who is our audience? Proceed in an orderly manner. Research, write, and summarize. And sometimes we write, then we do research and summarize. So let us do it in a research first, then write, then summarize. Length matters. If you have for a 1 hour presentation, it should be 1 hour. It should not be 1 hour 30 minutes. If it is a 50 words, 50 words. And most of the time we have limited spaces in the EFLTS system. The spaces are limited. We need to fit it there, so it need to be more precise and concise. Length matters. That is, you cover your topic, then quit it. Don't bring extra topics to it. Flow logically, and this is important. When we write about a specific topic, write about it. Flow logically. Lead the reader from start to finish it. Connect it. Connect between. We start. Today we know that we started from the what is it? Communication, effective communication, then project control, why it is important. Know ourselves and know our audience, then write it. Okay. So this is important. Then from the start to finish, then appearance matters. Make it visually appealing. Now we have a lot of distractions everywhere visuals. So seeing text alone, maybe sometimes get distracted. So if it is to be presented, if it's possible, give a drill down. Most of the reports, if you have online, we can have drill downs. If they wanted to know to drill down to a specific, then go further down, or visual appealing. Review and revise before sending it. Review, revise, and then make sure that next report can be effective. Simple tips, but it looks attractive for us. I think it is a time to wind up. In summary, we have to have an effective communication. We need to have the right information with us. We have to share it with the right audience, and through the right team, we need to collect the information. Then we have to have the right impact. Then we will get the right impact. So if we can make it, once again, I am reminding our earlier end value resemblance. Okay, let us earn the say, what we plan to say and what we actually say. So we can use that one to remember. So whether it is the feedback loop also. Before we close down, I'm bringing the quality in communication again. We know it is fit for purpose. Quality is fit for purpose. We learned again and again. In communication also, the quality is fit for purpose, for the right team, for the right impact, for the right audience, everything. Now think about cost of quality. This is what the point I wanted to make it as a concluding statement. The cost of quality. What is cost of quality? Cost of quality we learned in, I think in TCM, we have a separate session for cost of quality, quality management and cost of quality. It is the total quality cost, which is for both failure cost and appraisal cost. I think you all can connect this. What is the appraisal cost is the measurement, checking everything and preventing a failure. And what is the failure cost? It is internal failure and external failure, but which is failed and rejected internally, or when the customer or external party come and inspect it, then external failure. So the civil construction, it is to be breaking, we have to demolish it. If it is mechanical, we have to rework it, we have to exchange. So all these type of failures. So the cost of quality is both appraisal and internal or external failure. In communication, miscommunication, wrong communication can have serious impact on cost. Think today's presentation, I put it in the objective, giving a thought process. Can we improve it? So think the probability, the possibilities of improving it. It can be a system. I'm not saying that since I'm working for a company which is selling PMIS, that doesn't mean that we need to have a PMIS. That's why in every slide I mentioned, if return on investment is justify such a system, otherwise no. But think about the cost of quality in the similar way, cost of communication. Okay, if it is right fit for purpose, we found out, then we need to evaluate whether it is taking little more time to send that report is better, or it's failing later, or our communication having impact. I used to tell to the project team every time, anytime you write something, say something, think about if you are in a legal dispute, not in a mediation case, not in an arbitration case, when you are in a court, a legal system, they look into only evidences. Are our statements, our letters, our email, is it going to favor us, or it is going to stand against us? This is a question I used to ask every time. Before we send a communication, whether it is a verbal, whether it is meeting, whether minutes of meeting, formal letter, contractual letters, reports, progress, is this information we passing on to it? In a legal dispute situation, is it going to stand with us or stand against us? They ask these questions ourselves. Information came from, the references are Total Cost Management Framework. Most of the people here are familiar with TCM. I don't want to explain much. The Guild of Project Controls Compound and References. This is excellent. It is free. You can look into it. And Wrench Academy, where I am working. So we have an academy for sharing the information and knowledge. So these are the information we got it. My sincere thanks to all of you. 2 minutes more. And ASCI India section and all the facilitators, and naturally to Wrench Academy. Anybody want the presentation? I have my email given there. You can write me by email or by LinkedIn or any method I can share. If ASCI India have no objection, that's what I understood. The presentators can share if others want it. Thank you all. Somebody asked in the question in the chat box asking for the video. I'm not able to know somebody from ASCI India section to reply. Yeah, there is no questions. Yeah. Can we wind up?
We can wind up. Thank you very much.
Can we wind up?
Yes, sir. I think we can wind up.
Good session, Phillips. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.